In the heart of Astoria, Queens, a neighborhood pulsing with culture, diversity, and resilience, a new political voice has emerged. One that doesn't just echo the past, but challenges the status quo and envisions a radically different future. His name? Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Kwame Mamdani was born in 1991 in Kampala, Uganda, a city with its own complex political history. His family background was far from typical in American politics. His father, Mahmoud Mamdani, is a renowned political theorist and academic. His mother, the celebrated filmmaker Mira Nair, best known for films like Monsoon Wedding and The Namesake. Zohran's childhood was multicultural and multilingual. He was raised in New York City, where he attended local schools, growing up with a strong awareness of both global injustice and local inequality. From an early age, he was exposed to discussions about race, class, and empire not in textbooks but at the dinner table. Entry into organizing and politics. Before running for office, Zohran worked as a housing counselor, helping tenants avoid eviction in one of the most expensive and rent-burdened cities in the world, New York. It was this work that exposed him to the brutal realities of housing injustice. He saw firsthand how systemic inequality was baked into New York's real estate system, how landlords exploited legal loopholes, how the eviction process disproportionately affected immigrants and people of color, and how little power tenants had. But he didn't stop at observation. He began organizing, joining movements that fought for stronger tenant protections and housing justice. It wasn't long before he aligned with a group that was gaining traction nationally, the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA. The 2020 election. In 2020, Zohran made a bold move. He launched a campaign to run for New York State Assembly, challenging incumbent Democrat Arevalo Simotas, who had held the seat for over a decade. The odds were against him. Simotas had name recognition, endorsements, and funding. But Zohran had something else, a grassroots movement. With the support of DSA, tenant unions, and local volunteers, his campaign didn't just knock on doors, they built relationships. They talked about housing as a human right, Medicare for all, and a Green New Deal for New York. And then, something remarkable happened. He won. In a stunning upset, Zohran Mamdani defeated Simotas in the Democratic primary with over 60% of the vote. A signal that New Yorkers, particularly in Astoria, were ready for bold, transformative leadership, platform, and policy goals. As a member of the New York State Assembly, Zohran didn't waste time playing it safe. He immediately positioned himself as a progressive fighter. Housing justice. One of his signature issues is good cause eviction, a bill that would give tenants the right to stay in their homes unless landlords have a valid reason to evict them. This would protect millions from arbitrary or retaliatory evictions. Immigrant rights. As the child of immigrants and a former immigration court interpreter, Zohran understands the stakes. He's been a vocal advocate for expanding protections for undocumented New Yorkers and dismantling cooperation between ICE and local law enforcement. Public transit. Zohran is also a passionate supporter of public transportation reform, including full investment in NYC subways and buses and opposing fare hikes that hurt working-class riders. Climate and economy. With the DSA and fellow progressives, he's supported proposals for a Green New Deal for New York, aiming to create union jobs while transitioning to clean energy. Challenges and controversies. Of course, pushing for radical change isn't easy. Zohran has faced pushback from establishment Democrats and real estate lobbyists who view his ideas as too extreme. He's also had to navigate the difficult balance of being an outspoken critic of capitalism while working within a state legislature still deeply influenced by corporate interests. In 2023, he made headlines for his outspoken criticism of U.S. foreign policy, particularly around Palestine and Israel, positions that aligned with DSA's platform but stirred controversy in mainstream media. Yet through it all, Zohran has remained committed to his principles, often emphasizing that being an elected official means serving movements, not just constituents. Legacy in progress. In a time when many Americans feel disillusioned with politics, Zohran Mamdani represents a different kind of leadership, one rooted not in political dynasties or corporate donations, but in organizing, listening, and fighting for justice. Whether you agree with all his positions or not, his impact is undeniable. He's part of a growing wave of young, diverse, democratic socialists reshaping what it means to govern in America. For Zohran Mamdani, politics isn't just about passing laws. It's about changing who has power and who never did. And for Astoria and perhaps for New York, that change has only just begun.